Happy New Year, everyone. These are just some thoughts and insights into the changes that will be taking place in the coming year, 2024. It's really a treat for me to share these with you. One of the first things that I noticed is the vital role of the field in which we exist and the nature of that field coming to the foreground and being recognized as very important and necessary to dive into that and to really uncover and understand the details of that field as a requirement for our survival moving forward. I feel as if it's so important that it's very possible that there might be some scientific research that comes forward this year, or possibly some events that impact everyone that will help bring that appreciation of the connections, the gaps, the relationships between us as individuals into the forefront of our thinking, and people recognizing their importance, kind of bring that information out of the area of personal or private knowledge and into the field of common knowledge. Another thing that I think might be related to this, a trend that was already starting, I'd say, in the last year or a couple of few years, but seems from my perspective is ready to really gain a lot of momentum and really explode in 2024. And that is the awakening of spiritual knowledge, and in this particular case, within the context of religion. It's going to become necessary, and people will start to see the importance of their own spiritual development within the context of tradition, culture, the long-held principles that have served mankind for thousands and thousands of years. So I'm definitely seeing a big revival in not only traditional religions, but I would say an evolution of traditional religions within the context of what's commonly now this kind of big spiritual awakening that's been rolling through the collective field for probably the last 10 or 20 years in a more big way. So that there's going to be kind of I would say, a coordination coming together of traditional religions and what we would say would be like a great body of spiritual experiences that people have been exploring and activating within themselves over these last decades. This is very important because what it does is provides a modern context for traditional ceremonies and traditional means of enhancing and promoting the relationship between the individual and God. It's going to be really important. Religion has been important and it will continue to be important for a lot of people, but I really feel it's going to be way, way even more important in the coming year 2024. And again, what I see as kind of the catalyst for that are certain types of cultural and social events that are occurring at the larger sort of global scale that, we've been through incredible collective trauma. I mean, if we look back at the last few years with various health situations that have arisen and the response of our world to those health situations, this has really constituted a wound within the field, within the collective field of mankind. And as we come out of that, the net result will be an increase in spirituality. The last area that I wanted to discuss, which is also maybe a little bit related to health events, is an enhancing and an awakening of mankind's relationship with the microbial world. Now, back in 2019, I did a prediction for 2020. And at that time, I predicted that as a collective, as a human collective, our relationship with the microbial world was going to really go through some big transformation and healing in the coming year. And so it did. But this time, what I see happening is more related to how we interact with and understand our relationship with not just viruses, funguses, molds, parasites, but in particular, bacteria. And that it's very important for us And it's very important for the bacteria in our world, including our own precious microbiomes within our bodies. It's very, very important that we get our relationships sorted out. That one of the focuses of the coming year will be events that support and allow us to sort out our relationship with the, particularly with the bacterias in our world. And when I was looking into the relationship between human beings and bacteria, one of the things I noticed was that in their nature, bacteria are they have a sweetness to them. They have a sweetness. They're more sophisticated than viruses. You know, we worked through a lot with viruses over the last few years, but bacteria are more sophisticated, but also they are more accessible. The consciousness of a bacteria is more accessible in a way than a virus, in that the bacteria know themselves to be beings of autonomy in this creation that are adored. They are adored in their nature and adored and adorable. And I feel that part of the key to healing our relationship with the bacteria in our world, the various types of bacteria, both the friendly ones that help us, but also the unfriendly ones that could make our lives harder, is to find common ground between our own sense of ourselves as being precious and adorable and worthy, and their sense of being precious, adorable, and worthy, and realize that in a way, on that common ground, we can find the basis for reliable and meaningful communication that helps to fortify and improve our relationship with the bacteria on Earth. It would be very nice for us to sort out that relationship now before anything should happen that would endanger our health as a species and endanger them too, because our world needs us both. All right. So that's the message. That's all I have for you for 2024, but I hope it's useful and I hope informative, and may we all have a beautiful new year. You know, I'm wishing the very best of fulfillment and excellent health for everybody in 2024. Thank you everyone for being with me.